podcast. You know what it is. You know what we're here to do. Back on screen today for a midweek special episode talking about the CONCACAF Champions League. We're also going to get into the UEFA Champions League. Same as last week. We got a good response from the fans, so we're back again with another episode. We got B here on screen. We also got Eric, the Top Flight Podcast stat and topic contributor. Starting off with B, how you doing, bro?
Not good, bro. I'm no agitado, as you would say. I'm sad, bro. This defeat really it got me down, bro. It really does got me. It really did get me down, man. So I'm ready to
I
talk
feel the
about it.
energy. I feel
Yeah,
the
man.
energy.
Yeah, it's standing out to me. Like we'll get to it. We'll talk about it. But yeah, definitely not kind of down, bro. That's
I
all I'm
know,
saying.
mate. I know, definitely. I mean, what other feeling can you have right now? I mean, we're out of the Champions League, but we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into
Yeah.
that. Let's introduce my Lil G, Eric, top flight contributor. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing great. Evil battle,
Interesting.
but yeah, I hate to see my boys down, man.
I don't understand how you can be so good when there's a warrant for Casemiro's arrest right now after that nasty tackle, and you defended it. You defended it, mate. So
Yeah.
we're gonna
We'll get to
definitely talk.
that.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that, mate. Before we get into the episode, for sure, I gotta send some shout outs and plug in a couple things. Obviously, shout out to the sponsor, Guadalupe Realtor. I always say this: if you have any questions of buying a home or selling a home in Austin, Texas, or in the Central Texas area, make sure to hit her up. She would help you. She will help you try to make the process easier for you, and you can evaluate your options, I guess, moving forward with this weird process that is buying a home or selling a home. Also, you can check out we'reaustin.tv.com. We got a bunch of articles on there. Working on one right now. Football Critic is doing the running back for the RSL game to recap that game really in depth. And also plugging in the podcast. Make sure to follow Top Flight. Tell your friends, tell family, tell your coworkers. Austin FC podcast, Top Flight podcast. It's one of the best in the Austin area. So shout out to everybody that already supports us and subscribes to us. So it means a lot. B, anything you want to add on that point?
Yeah, no, I'm excited for those articles, man. I'm excited for that Football Critics article. Go check them out. They're great read. Easy to read. So that's it.
Definitely, mate. All right, let's get into the Austin FC segment, the CONCACAF Champions League segment, of course. Um, it was definitely a game that fans are gonna want to forget. We won the game, but we lost the tie, I guess you can say. 2-0 was the final score. It was the final score, but the aggregate was 3-2. Austin FC sees an early exit in the CONCACAF Champions League. The goals were scored by Sebastian Druissi with an assist by Emiliano Rigoni, who's been getting a lot of slack, bro. But Emiliano Rigoni quietly was one of our best players last night, y'all. And a lot of people don't want to talk about that, but we're going to talk about that tonight here. Rigoni picks up his first assist of the 2023 campaign, I guess you could say, official campaign, not including preseason. Owen Wolf, um, uh, sorry, got that. I'm sorry, not Owen Wolf. Drusi gets his second goal, and then Alex Ring picks up that assist. So 2-0 result is what Austin FC had. But B, what are your overall thoughts on last night's match? I mean, we got the win, but we see an early exit.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the main talking point was, how will Wolf approach this, right? There was a lot of talk of like potentially maybe even put it in the same squad. Like, how dare he try to maybe put the same squad, or was he gonna go all out and put our starters that have been starting for us lately? And the answer is yeah, the starters started. The RSL, I think it was the exact same squad that we had going to RSL. So the moment that came out, I was like, okay, we're going for it. We're going for it. Optimism was high, higher than I thought people would have in the beginning of the game. Walking to the stadium, people were like, "Man, we got to come back." People were thinking, first half is gonna be the crucial. Like if we can get one, there's just all this rumbling around me, just like,
Mm-hmm.
man, this is happening, this is happening. The belief was there. And as the first half rolled on, as the game kicked on, it's not a surprise. We pushed forward, and Violet, not having the quality to maybe, you know, they tried to counter as much as they could. Wasn't really as often as they would like. We were completely dominant, and the first half we just couldn't get a goal, bro. We just could not get a damn goal. 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, try after try, cross after cross. It wasn't going in. 40 minutes in, 40 plus five, and I knew going in that the Violet it was part of their game plan to waste time, bro. Essentially, this is CONCACAF. This is I'm not
Time wasting,
surprised.
baby.
Time wasting, bro. It comes with this territory. It comes with playing these teams and this competition, especially, bro. We're used to it. We're expecting it. Well, I was.
Hmm.
Some of the fans that follow this competition, they know what to expect, and I was expecting it, and it just didn't go in. And I think that's what really hindered us not getting one, bro, at the half. And then the second half, obviously, going all out. I've never seen this club go all out like that before ever. There's been times where we've pushed forward and we've gone, but to the magnitude that I saw this team, bro, I mean, we were going all out. And when Druissi finally nicked that goal, bro, the the relief, the belief came back, bro. And then the second one, bro. And at that point in my mind, I'm sitting there watching that game. When the second one went in, it's done, bro. It's done. We doing this. The momentum was our way. The domination was us. Their counterattacks were not much, bro. Like they were sure they would get the ball and counter, but it never really
Leo
produced
Leo
anything.
easily cleaned it up.
Yeah,
Alex Ring
and
also. Also
for
Alex.
sure. And when that second goal went in, I was like, bro, it's happening, bro. It's happening. And a bunch of VAR offsides,
Hmm.
penalty call. We'll get to it more in depth, but at the end of the day, bro, it did not happen. We did not get that third goal. And for me personally, and this will be the last thing as far as overall, I'll say, me personally, and I told you this before too, is like, bro, this defeat, you know, here at the top flight, the boys, Eric, Bali, everybody, they know I'm usually the kind of level-headed guy. Like, I look at defeats and I kind of try to be more optimistic and look ahead and be just a more level-headed. Bali is full of emotion sometimes, and I always blast on him for that. But this game, bro, I think this game has been. I was legit sad, bro. I was the saddest I think I've ever been following this club personally, bro. I was walking to the fan reaction and I told you, but I was like, bro, man, this shit fucking hurts, bro.
I felt it, bro.
Fucking hurts,
Definitely. I
bro.
mean, it was a bit of a gut punch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a bit of a low blow. We expected to move on to the next round. Josh Wolf even said it himself in the press conference. He said that the team tonight had it in their mind, like they were very confident and they were expecting themselves to even go on to the next round and taking away the VAR calls, taking away the offside chances that Austin had. I mean, this game could have ended 7-0, 6-0, 5-0, could have got it
Yeah.
done. And you mentioned that it really hurt us not getting a goal in that first half. Well, I want to take it a step further and say it hurt us not getting a goal in Haiti. Not getting a
No,
goal. I'm
yeah.
sorry, not getting a goal in Haiti, but in the DR because they couldn't play in Haiti, so they went to the Dominican
Yeah.
Republic. But not getting a goal away from home, B, is what really hurt us, man.
Yeah.
Really, really hurt
I
us.
mean, so it came down to the smallest. You could put this anywhere, bro. I mean, that's a great point. But the own goal, I mean, that
The own
that
goal, yeah.
too, the not getting a goal away, the just the smallest little pinch of grass is what made this go their way, bro. It just this gutted, man. I was just legit fucking sad, bro. I was
Same,
sad, bro. Like
same.
honestly, bro, the defeat at LAFC in the conference final was a different vibe. We got spanked 3-0.
We
I was
got
upset.
we
I was
got
hurt.
schooled there. We
We
got
got schooled.
schooled.
We
We
got
got
schooled.
schooled.
But the pain, and I'll admit it, bro, the pain, the defeat. If we won the game 2-0, but not qualifying to the next round, I think has been the saddest moment following this club, bro. For me personally,
100%,
it's
bro.
just I was gutted, bro.
Let's talk a little bit about the lineup. You had mentioned earlier that it was the same lineup that played against RSL, and it was. We had Zan Kolmanek on the left-hand side playing left back, Leo Väisänen, who got an international call-up. Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Finland came calling at his door. They said, hey, it's time. Come on. Very talented young player, too. Leo Väisänen, he plays with so much class. I love this guy in the back four for Austin FC. He finished the game with a 6.9. We had Alex Ring in the center back, that partnership with him as well. Alex Ring ended the game with our highest rating last night, yeah, with an 8.6. He got a assist, if I'm not mistaken, to Sebastian Drusi's second goal. John Gallagher got that call for the right back position. He ended the game with a 7.5. Dani Pereira and Owen Wolf partnership again in the midfield, who I think both of these players had a really good game. They were winning many balls in the midfield. I mean, Violet really had no chance to counter at all because Dani Pereira and Owen Wolf had it on lock. There was a brief moment, and hopefully we're gonna get to talk about this later on, but I want to mention it real quick. Owen Wolf had a had a breakaway opportunity where he himself steals the ball, carries it about maybe 20 yards, and he doesn't make the correct final decision. He takes the shot himself. It ends up slicing wide, but he had Druissi pulling the mark of two players and Zardis, who opened up completely free on his right-hand side. Owen doesn't see him, and that chance goes begging. And that goes to my point that I said last night on the space, the fact that Zardis has been so unlucky, bro, with service. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to talk about Zardis, saying how he's not getting his goals. I understand the pressure because he is a number 9, but there's been so many wrong decisions right before that last pass that Zardis has been a victim to a lot of the time, y'all. And we really got to look into it real deep instead of making these on the surface radical criticism decisions, I guess you can
Yeah.
say. Hopefully Zardis can get it working soon, but that's just my take on that. Also, real quick, in the midfield attacking position, we had Ethan Finley, who gets to start on the left side. Sebastian Druissi picked up an 8.3. Emiliano Rigoni with an 8.3, also a high performer last night. Rigoni gets his assist, and Giannis Zardis, who we had briefly talked about right now, 6.8. I mean, this lineup was what we needed. We were told it was going to be a very strong offensive lineup. Josh Wolf wanted to get the win. This lineup should have got it done, bro. Should have got it done. Real quick, some substitutions that we're going to touch up on. I want to mention Adam Lunkovich's substitution real quick because at one point it was Lunkovich, Leo, and Alex back there, and it was like the Finnish connection, I guess you can say. It was cool to see them back there, and it was awesome to see Adam Lunkovich get minutes. He was putting a bunch of crosses into the box. Really, nothing really happened after, he was putting in balls into the box, but I'm lucky that he got some time under his belt. Nick Lima also came on for Leo Bison, and later in the game, he was playing center back when it was completely all out. Like, it was
Yeah.
forward. Take out
Yeah.
Leo, Nick Lima in. And we also saw Diego Fagundes come in at the half. He was a quick sub at the half. Fagundes was training or was warming up on the field with some intensity during halftime while the team was having a conversation in the locker room. But Fagu had already probably received his instruction, I guess you can say. And last but not least, Will Bruin comes in for John Gallagher in minute 81 as Zardy stayed on the field. So it was Bruin and Zardy's up top to get that miracle in the last couple of minutes. And some people, not some people, but some fans were very upset at the fact that Will Bruin was brought in. And I'm not gonna lie, I was also a bit upset too. Like, why bring on Will Bruin? But if you go back and listen to the press conferences and read the press releases when Josh Wolf and co signed Will Bruin, these were the moments that Will Bruin was brought on for. He was
Yeah.
brought on for his CONCACAF Champions League experience and his final minutes to try to nick a goal. This is one of the things that he does. He did have one header, but it went just wide of the post. Now, that's my take on the lineup. B, anything you want to add on that?
I mean, look, on the substitutions, man. I guess you would bring Will Bruin to kind of be more of a physical presence in the box while the crosses are coming in. I guess he's a little bit bigger. He's maybe more natural to him to go for balls, like you mentioned, bro. Yeah, sure. Keep Zardes in there as well, but the substitutions didn't work. They didn't get that goal. The one thing that I give you a let, man, is that their physicality. Despite their goalkeeper was short, bro. Like, it wasn't the same goalkeeper in the first game, was it? I can't quite remember at this moment in time, but I was right there when they switched halves. They he came to our side, the supporter section, and I was like, man, from the bangers that we scored in Gallagher and Owen Wolf, he is not a tall goalkeeper, man. We should be trying to give him some shots, man, to save. And they weren't coming in. They were choosing more to go through the wings and cross the ball in and try to, do it that way. And it just didn't work. So the substitutions just didn't work, man. I can see what he was going for, though. I understand what he's going for. It just didn't work.
Eric, we got to get you in, mate. B and I just laid out a bunch of info. Obviously, this was our non-biased Austin FC take, right? No, I'm just kidding. But you label yourself a bit of neutral. You don't really support the Austin FC, but you like to keep up with them. I guess you can say whenever you've been helping us here, you've kind of fallen in love with Austin FC in a way, but you don't want to admit it yet, bro. But what was your take really on everything that went on last night, if you may, and also your thoughts on the lineup? Maybe you want to respond or add on to a point that B and I just said.
The lineup was good, but yeah, he has to understand. Wolf has to understand that he has to put Maxi in. That connection with him and Driussi would have worked perfectly. Zardes was just not clicking. To me, that was a dominant game. And like I had said last time, that keeper is not that good, as you can see with the second goal. And then they have no shots. Even if you go back and check the highlights, it's just Austin, 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 Austin. And they had like 2 shots and they were wide. Uh, I think it's just unlucky. But at the same time, I also believe it's too soon. It's the debut season for Austin. It's a learning lesson, like last year with the conference final loss. It's a learning lesson. It's always, you got to learn. But Austin's gonna come back. But don't take it too hard. I know it sucks.
Nah, bro, I'm taking it hard, bro. Nah,
Yeah, we're
man, this shit
definitely not
hurt,
taking it
bro.
hard. Definitely not taking it hard.
Nah, man, this shit, especially following this company. I mean, Eric, I mean, look, you're not really an Austin FC fan. I get it, but you do watch the CONCACAF Champions League, right? I mean, before Austin FC was like, before I even really got into the MLS, I was watching the CONCACAF Champions League, bro. America won it back-to-back years, if I'm not mistaken. The Liga MX dominance was really, it was a point that MLS couldn't win it. So I was watching it just to see if they could every year. Can they do it? Can the team come up and win this competition? So it meant a lot more to me, personally. And seeing them go down, especially to this opposition, it really fucking gutted me, bro.
We also have to note, boys, that it is very early on in our life as a club. We don't
Yeah,
have that acquired depth that some other teams in this competition do have. Josh Wolf
I
kind of
agree.
Josh Wolf kind of went in on that. He said that we have to build on it. I have a quote here, not necessarily on that point, but I did have this quote that I wanted to read from Wolf, and this quote kind of made the rounds. We posted it on our Instagram. You can follow us there. We're Austin TV. Josh Wolf says, it's disappointing for our owners, our fans, and the players as well. We're going to have to move on. It is a game. There are many more games ahead. There's going to be many more opportunities, but we can't lose sight of the other opportunities that do lie ahead. We'll obviously regroup after this and we'll move forward. Now, before we get into a couple players that we wanted to talk about, B, is there anything you want to add on to that quote?
I mean, yeah, the depth issue. I get it. I'm not gonna come in here and blindly complain. Why are we not pushing this competition? 100%. I'm speaking on emotion. I want us to compete well in this competition, of course. And I understand that the depth is just not there. I understand both situations. I could be upset that we're not pushing for this competition, but I could also understand the logic behind not having enough depth. Our B squad should be good enough to beat Violette away. They should be. They weren't, but they should be. And yeah, I mean, puts everything into perspective as far as the club. We're not there yet in depth. It is what it is. I can still be upset that we're out, but I understand. I mean, I do.
I have a question for you, B. What's your response to the fans that are bringing out the Wolf Out uh,
Oh man.
tweets or the chants again? Because we saw it in year one, then year two happened and it
Yeah.
went away. Josh Wolf and the team had an incredible season that saw us go all the way to the Western Conference Final. But one thing that I noticed myself on social media today was that the Wolf Out is
Yeah.
back. Do
I
you
mean,
think that it's deserved, or do you think that it's ridiculous?
look, the criticism Wolf gets, I think, is deserved because of I think it is deserved, bro. I mean, it falls on him. Ultimately, he's the coach. So the criticism is deserved. But the Wolf out thing, I mean, look, the season one came in, Wolf out. Our boy Bali's not in here today. I wish he was, but he couldn't be. So he was one of the main talking people, and me and him always had heated debates, and I
Yeah.
wasn't with that, and I still am not, bro. I'm still not. I don't know if people are gonna come at me and credit. Oh, Brian doesn't know. But look, let me tell you why, bro. Let me tell you why I'm not. Because people talk about the depth of this squad, and some people understand that the depth is just not there to be competing in these competitions. Give Wolf a depth. Like, let him build a squad. Let him have a B team that can go away and compete against Violet. He doesn't have that. I mean, he showcased our B team. I would put that into one of the reasons that the depth. And also, I mean, look, we talked about Wolf, 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 and I told you this yesterday, bro. And I want to bring up another name that maybe people already forgot. It seemed like people already forgot. It's easy to put the blame on Wolf, but I'm gonna bring up a name, Tarek. On the cool, like this game, this whole crashing out. I'm gonna in 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10 years from now, bro. When I think about this moment, I'm gonna think of one face and one player, and that's gonna be Tarek, bro. Tarek, because How is it Wolf's fault that he had one of the most worst performances, the own goal, one of the most
Mm,
worst own goals I've ever seen in a
mm.
professional game, up there with the GOATs as far as own goals. If there's an own goal compilation video on YouTube of all-time great own goals, he better be at the top of that list, bro. I
Oh
mean,
my.
this guy, that's what I'm gonna be remembering, bro. I mean, people forgot about that, but how is it Wolf's fault that he just had such a horrendous? And I get it. You could say, oh, we should be going all out in this competition. We should be playing our B team away. And I get that criticism. I also get it. The blame is to be shared. I get the criticism on Wolf out. But no, it's not Wolf out, bro. I'm backing Wolf still. I mean, we got plenty of football left. You got the Leagues Cup, the US Open Cup, and we got the MLS here. Things are gelling. A lot of criticism is coming Zarda's way because he can't nick a goal. Same reason for Rigoni. Can't nick a goal, right? But if you look past that, try to look past that, how they play, how they gel, the positioning they get, their hold up play, the different things that they do that doesn't really score a goal, the positions that they get in, everything they do to make this team work. You can see the progress there. There's a reason why Rigoni was second highest rated in this game, despite not being able to score a goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I see all that, bro. I see all that. I see potential. I see growth. I think we were a little early to be in this competition, to be honest. I mean, technically, towards the end of the MLS Cup playoffs, we were waiting on results to qualify. It wasn't like we earned it and boom, we deserve to be in there. We were waiting
It's
on other
true. That's
other
true.
competitions to be like, oh, if they win, will we be in? If they win, will we be in? So I think we were a little early to be in this competition, and I think we still need to build depth, bro. So that's my take on that.
100%, bro. And hopefully, we can build back. I said this on this space last night, and one of the first steps that needs to be taken is to make sure that we get back to this point in the
Yeah.
future as soon as possible. The exposure is good for the club, not only for the club but for the players to be on a international stage. Obviously, we
Yeah.
did not take advantage of the opportunity of our debut, and we paid for it. I mean, the countless memes, the videos that were made, the
That's what I was
tweets,
saying. We definitely got exposure,
graphics.
mate.
We
It
got it.
def
We got definitely got exposure, but you would probably not in the best way, right?
no.
I before we talk about Rigoni, I do want to mention the criticism that Wolf has been receiving today from a lot of fans on social media, on Twitter and on Instagram and in the YouTube comments of the fan reactions, is the fact that he rotated the players, and that he should be playing his best 11 in these kind of competitions. So um, definitely people think that you know players should have been in DR, the quote
Yeah.
unquote best players. But
Yeah.
just like you said earlier, B, I mean, B team should have got the job done down there. I
Yeah.
mean, people also have to understand that rotating players is also part of managing a football club.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, bro. Season one, the fans wanted us to be competing for MLS Cup, bro. We couldn't even have a number 9. We didn't even have a solid starting 11. We wanted to compete in the MLS Cup. Get that? We're 3 years in, and now they want us to be competing in the CONCACAF Champions League. We just got 11. We just gelled a good 11, and now you demand a bench. Like, it comes with time, my G's. It comes with
Yeah.
time, bro. And we're getting there. Just we're a little early. And I'm just like I said in the beginning of the episode, bro. I'm gutted. I'm just upset. Probably the most upset I ever been following this club. I was legit, bro. I was for real sour. Like, So I get it, but we move.
We move, mate, and we're gonna move to Emiliano Rigoni. I want to talk about him just briefly. I want to put some emphasis on him. One of the players. He played 90 minutes. His heat map is crazy. He was all over that right hand side. He did bag an assist on Druissi Dior's goal. 81 touches, 83% pass accuracy with 6 key passes, 6 crosses completed out of 16. He had 1 big chance created, 1 shot on target, 2 shots blocked, 2 out of 3 dribble attempts, 5 out of 9 ground duels won, 1 out of 3 aerial duels won. He lost possession 25 times. He was fouled once, 1 interception, 2 tackles, and he was dribbled past only 1 time. 8.3 rating. I mean, one of the highest rated players on the field last night, but yet he received so much criticism. Thoughts on that, Eric? Go ahead, mate.
Praise to the man. And I'm gonna say here, he is another version of a Man United Anthony. Just gives it all.
Interesting comparison. Okay.
I mean, I haven't seen him
all,
do any
uh,
spins, but all right.
gives it all, but he just can't find the net. I mean, Anthony finds the net, but this guy just, I don't like the hate that he's getting. Give him some time. Some people are not going, they're too anxious. We need him to score. Give the guy some time. I mean,
real quick, the problem with that some fans are gonna respond to you is they're gonna say, well, he's a DP player. He's making X amount of money. He should be performing. But if he's gaining an 8.3 rating when the highest rated player was an 8.6 and he's one of the second highest, he has the same rating as Druissi, right? And he's still getting criticism. I mean, this guy is probably thinking to himself, well, what else can I do to please these fans? I'm dropping 8.3. I'm getting an assist. He can score a goal, but assist is also part of the game. And I didn't hear, if I talked to 100 fans last night, 2 of them mentioned Rigoni's assist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's a problem here, bro. Thoughts on that, B?
I mean, look, we're gonna be talking about this until he scores the damn goal, bro. If he doesn't score against Houston, we'll be talking about it. If he doesn't score against Colorado, I mean, sound the alarms, bro. And to me, I think that it will come for sure. I look more at what he's doing outside of just scoring goals, his positioning, everything he does, his roles in the squad. And to me, I think that's positive. A lot of people can say, oh, he's a DB player, and I get that. But we're gelling this team. We're trying to compete. We're trying to be back in the top of the MLS, and it takes a little bit of time to get going. He has roles, bro. Like, he's got his role to do. So does Druissi. So does Diego. So does Zardes. They each have roles in the way that Wolf wants to play. If Wolf wants to shift his team so that Rigoni is scoring hella goals, I bet you he'll get goals. But that's not what maybe that's not what Wolf is trying to get him to do. Maybe, like I said, everybody has their role in this Wolf ball, I guess, essentially. And it's going to take time.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good way to put it. Definitely. Now, some fans were also saying, though, Wolfball, you mentioned Wolfball was working well season 2, but with the new signings, things changed. Players are learning new things. I mean, Wolf is asking Diego to do new things almost every game. So it's definitely a game plan that they're still working on. I know as fans, it's freaking frustrating. And to say the least, I mean, we also need answers. We also need answers, bros, because that exit from the CCL is gonna just linger for a long time. It's
Sustain.
It's definitely going to stay in a long time, mates. Now, I don't want to ramble too much and get off topic there. Let's talk about Sebastian Druissi real quick. He ended the game with an 8.3 rating, 90 minutes played. He got 2 goals, no assists, 61 touches, 82% pass accuracy. Let's see, he had 6 shots on target. 4 of them were off target. 4 of his shots were blocked. It was just a hat trick kind of night for Druissi, but he only got a brace. And interesting, a fan outside Q2 Stadium told us that tonight, that the exit of the CCL rested on his shoulders. Eric, thoughts on that, mate? I see you shaking your head. Is it Druissi's fault? I mean, please tell me it's not. Go ahead.
It's not. See, if Austin would have played Druissi in the first leg, it would have been qualification to the next round, easy peasy. This man was all over the place. This man scored 2 goals, gave everybody hope, gave everybody that light, that little glimmer.
Yeah, gave me all that.
Was very, just, I don't know. I don't like that comment, but yeah, Druissi gave it all. He wanted to go to the next round. He looked hungry. It just couldn't come, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse, to like come into a game where you're like, man, this shit is not happening. They nick a goal. If they were to nick a goal, then it's over. It's done. And then just going through that pain, or being hyped up, given hope, like Eric said, given that feeling of like it's happening, and then not happening. I mean, god damn, bro. I mean, that guy was obviously drunk, intoxicated. Druissi gave us hope. He was the guy that had the brace, and during the VAR penalty call, he had the ball in his hand, bro.
Yeah,
he had the ball in his
ready.
hand. He was ready for that hat trick. He saw his name in lights. He saw the savior of Austin, and to who else but him? So
So on that note, B, thank you for pointing that out. The VAR, the referee, that's the thing that I want to get into next. We got to talk about the absolute CONCACAF shithousery that happened last night at Q2 Stadium. I mean, wow, bro. I'd never seen anything like that. You know, you had mentioned earlier that Violet players knew what they had to do. They executed well. They were time wasting after time waste after time wasting. Their medical team probably came onto the field more than I
The
mean, they were
stretcher, bro.
the freaking stretcher came onto the field at least 20 times at Q2 Stadium. It was almost laughable, bro. You
Yeah,
know,
it
I
was
mean,
crazy.
and also what I wanted to also touch up on is the fact that the VAR call took 4 to 6 minutes, mate. Four
Yeah.
to 6 minutes for the ref later to come back and say no penalty. And if you really think about the added time, the time wasted, if you compile that all together, altogether, a lot of fans outside of Q2 Stadium were saying that it didn't add up. It should have been more time added on, and Austin FC obviously was victim to that. Go ahead, B.
Yeah.
Any
I mean,
thoughts
the
on that?
first game, I tweeted something about are we getting CONCACAF? And maybe I used the word wrong. I always thought that maybe getting CONCACAF meant, getting punched in the face but not expecting it. But it turns out it was more like referee calls and stuff like that. And I think we could say that call, I think, was we got CONCACAF. And I mean, to me, I mean, this is obviously maybe a little biased, but to me, I think that was a penalty, a clear penalty. He took way too long. I mean, if VAR is asking you to take a look and you're looking for that long, I mean, obviously you're thinking about it for that long. I mean, bro, it's a penalty, bro. It's a penalty. The time wasting thing, I mean, I knew that they were going to do that from the get go. Every single time a player went down, the stretcher came in and it went back out without a player on it. Yeah, I mean, that was the game plan for them. And I mean, they've, for the 10 minutes that was added on at the end, I think they're like just 10, to us, they were like just 10 minutes, but to them, they were like 10 minutes, let's go. Like, out of all the time that they wasted, they probably wasted 20 minutes, bro. Like, it was just crazy. But it's CONCACAF, bro. I'm not surprised.
Now, I have a quote here from Zardis, and that's on the penalty. He says, "When I went to go kick the ball, I obviously got hit by the player, but that's CONCACAF for you. They make the decisions. I don't. But I thought it was a PK." And I think he's talking about the incident where he gets completely like swept. He gets hit like
Yeah,
at the hip. You know what I
yeah,
mean? He just
yeah.
like destabilized him. I thought that was a pen 100%. Then shortly
Gotta be.
after, Fagundes could have also been probably could have been awarded a penalty for a foul on him. But I mean, we got CONCACAF last night.
Yeah.
Eric, did you see the penalty instances, and what are your thoughts? Do you think Zardes maybe has a point here, or you think maybe he should just get up and dust the dirt off his shoulders and keep it moving?
I think he was right. I think it was a robbery. Austin FC got robbed.
Low key, mate. Low key.
CONCACAF, mate.
Low key.
Robbed. Get it.
Yeah.
Somebody investigate this because this is wrong. What is going on? It's
Yeah.
a pen. I'm backing you guys. The same guys that said that Casemiro's foul was a red.
It was a red, mate. It was red. I'm not having
It was
that,
probably a purple,
bro. That
honestly.
was attempted murder, like Bali said. I mean, you should
That
be
really
catching the
was.
charge, bro.
Yeah,
Just as obvious, bro.
Go ahead,
yeah.
Eric.
This obviously was a game changer. It should have been a penalty. And yeah, even like as a neutral, I'm with the fans. It's freaking. It's a pen. And then the game gets more interesting. And then Austin comes back and then you win the game. But CONCACAF. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Definitely, bro. One thing that I wanted to note on the referee, obviously, I thought he was poor. They were spot on their offsides call because the goals that they called back on Zardes and I think Zardes was the only one that had an offsides goal. But there was some calls where they were spot on. The linesman, she was on point. Shout out to her. They were absolutely. I mean, the linesman for offsides really didn't need VAR, but they obviously went to it. Ethan Finley also had one called back. Well, Druissi's goal was called back for an Ethan Finley handball. He kind of extended his arm out. Some fans were saying it was chest. Some people were saying it was shoulder, but in the end, VAR does call it back. B, you think that was rightfully so?
I mean, look, with the offside situation, you're either offside or you're not. And
That's true.
so they were offside, so be it. It is what it is.
And the
On the
handball?
on the handball, that's I get it. It's on the law. Like, I get the decision. I get that. it was a handball to me. I mean, I understand. The only thing that troubles me is the penalty call, but offsides, handball, and everything. Penalty call not going our way. I could say what a lot of fans are probably screaming through the headphones. They're saying we should not have to depend on a penalty call to go through against Violet. And to them, I say you're right.
Definitely be. And on with that point, I kind of want to get maybe a little bit more into the seriousness of this result. One of the last things that I do want to talk about before we do a little Houston preview real quick
Yeah.
is this tweet I wanted to bring up and some stats that I want to read off. This is a tweet from Adrian Healy. I think by now a lot of people already saw it, but Adrian Healy he he quote tweets Austin FC's full-time graphic post. Austin FC says, our SCCL 2023 run comes to an end. Adrian Healy, who many people know who he is, he's a commentator for ESPN. We've seen him on ESPN FC and Austin FC with Michael Hood. He says, run? Run? With the double question mark? Please take this down. An embarrassing enough night without this. And with that, I want to read some stats here. 35 shots for Austin FC. 10 of those were on target, boys. 77% possession, 585 passes, 90% pass accuracy, 11 fouls, 3 offsides, and 10 corners. Why do I read those stats? Is because I think Adrian Healy thought that night's performance was not good enough. So, B, I want to ask you if you share the same sentiment with Mr. Adrian Healy, mate.
I do. I do share the same sentiment. He had to go at the whole run thing because
He had to go.
He had to go. And I agree. This wasn't a run. I mean, we never even. It was a catch up. It was yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree with him. A lot of frustrations from him. A lot of frustrations. I mean, like I said, we made national news, bro. It's like we've been ever since the start of the season. We've been making national news, but it's all the wrong reasons. Kip's disaster in the first game against St. Louis. The first leg away, Tadic's disaster, and now not qualifying. So we've been on the national spotlight for all the wrong reasons, man. So a lot of these, yeah. I mean, I wish we were, when we were killing it last season, flying high, we weren't getting nowhere near this attention. And now look at us now, we're in the mud, I could say, and we're getting all the attention, mate.
Eric, before we get into a little bit of the Houston preview, what are your thoughts on what B just said and also the tweet that I read out from Mr. Adrian Healy made, kind of describing this debut run or whatever as an embarrassment? I mean, I read these stats, 35 shots, 10 of those were on target. I mean, with some of the guys that we have on payroll, I mean, we should be doing better. Go ahead, Eric.
I agree with him. Is it even a run? No, y'all didn't even take the first step. That wasn't even close.
Okay. All right. That's a good one.
To do that for Austin in their first debut season in the CCL and to go out like that, I mean, to me, it's not right. And to even call it a run, why? Like I said, y'all didn't even take the first step.
Yeah.
Decisions the first game that cost it the second game, they caused a catch up, like Habib said. It's plain and simple. It was.
I think Adrian didn't have to go that hard on that Austin FC admin. I mean, it was just like a generic statement.
True,
you know what I'm saying?
True,
like
true,
they
nice to be the admin though, man. Like fuck.
Yeah, like Adrian Healy just quote tweeted me. Oh no, you know what I mean? Like it's just it's a generic statement. I think Adrian Healy didn't have to go that hard in the paint. But hey, that just goes to show that emotion can get into anybody. Emotion can get in. It even hit Adrian Healy to go and quote tweet his employer, Austin FC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So emotion sets into everybody. Frustration sets into everybody. Fans express themselves in many different ways. And that's one form that Adrian Healy expressed himself, I guess you can say. Boys, we're going to get into the Houston preview, I guess, real quick. I do want to point out that we're going to have a space tomorrow with some folks from the Houston Dynamo community with Somo 713. It's going to be just like a real fun debate, kind of back and forth there. It'll be real healthy interaction. Hopefully, you never know what you're going to get with some of these Houston fans. But we do got to travel to Houston. We got to go to Shell Stadium or PNC Stadium. Not sure what it's called now, but I know that it did change name. We're not arriving in the best fashion. We're arriving, a little bit wounded. We're gonna lick our wounds, I guess you can say. And also, there is some rumors, there is some shouts of a rotated lineup incoming against that match. Sorry, incoming for that match against Houston. What are your thoughts on that? B? I mean, we're gonna go out there Saturday. What does Austin FC have to do to get the win in Houston, bro? And they
Well,
have to get it.
yeah, I mean, the question was against Villette, will we take this seriously because of the Houston game coming up so quickly? And the lineup, we went strong, and maybe I heard some rumblings. It's like, okay, like if we went strong against, it's almost like we needed to pick a game. It's almost like we needed to pick whether we go strong against Villette or go strong against Houston. It's almost like we couldn't have both. So that's what I'm thinking about. Is I'm thinking about, are we going to be rotating against Houston? If so, how much rotation? I would love if honestly, beyond real, I would love to play the exact same lineup for the third game in a row, RSL Villette, and now against Houston, the same lineup, except I would bring in Diego. Um, that's what I would hope for. But mm, Wolf has been harping on fitness and rotation and not being able to have the depth to be competing in these competitions, and so I wouldn't be surprised if he brings in a rotated lineup. So, and if he does bring in a rotated, how much rotation, and if that's gonna cause for concern because, like you said, you mentioned it towards the end. You said if we have to win, and bro, if we lose against Houston, uh, it's almost like another wound on top of wound after wound. So we washed away a lot of stuff against Montreal last minute. We washed a lot of stuff away against RSL. Banger goals, things were good. Let's wash this away also as quickly as possible. But I know Wolf has to consider fitness, so I guess we'll see what he wants to do.
Definitely, real good point there. Be Wolf definitely has to consider fitness. That is something that is on his mind. I know that he has to take care of his players. We have the MLS right now. U.S. Open Cup is also coming just right around the corner, and then Leagues Cup in the summer. So Wolf is
Yeah,
definitely taking care of his players. So fitness in mind. Obviously, if Austin FC does put out a quote unquote B squad in Houston, which let's not kid ourselves. Houston is not a superpower squad. They're not an
yeah,
LAFC. They're not a Galaxy. I don't even know if Galaxy is a superpower squad, but they're not a Toronto, right? I don't want to take anything away from Houston. I know they have some quality players that have been performing better this season, right? But we should be able to take care of business in Houston. We said that versus Violette that we should be able to take care of business, and I say it again versus Houston. I think we should be able to take care of business, and a point on the road would be great. I'll take a point on the road. I do not want to lose. Of course, it is always a possibility when you play a derby because the other team wants to win for their fans just as much as your team does, and they're at home. So I will take a point from this game 1,000%, a
I'll
thousand
take a
percent.
point too, bro. I agree with you.
If we win, of course, I mean happy as hell. But a point to me would be golden this weekend coming up, bro. Golden.
Yeah, I mean, you
Eric,
might get a lot of criticism too. People
yeah,
want want
probably,
want the points,
probably.
bro. But I agree with you, bro. I do.
I mean, at the end of the day, I would love it if these guys perform like Man City, Real Madrid day in and day out. But you also have to realize where you're at, what
Yeah,
you got, and a point on the road against Houston, especially after the stuff that we're going through right now. I mean, point on the road in Houston would be golden. And I'm
yeah,
not trying to make my club Austin seem small or little, but you got to realize where you're at.
yeah. And also, I mean, you gotta keep in mind after Houston, we come back home against Colorado, and then we got an international break. So we get a point against Houston, we come back home and finish it off with a nice win, 4 points in 2 games. We're good, like in my opinion. So yeah,
Also, we have to know that in the MLS, we're not doing too bad, mate. We're not doing that bad in the MLS. I'm pulling up the stands right now. Austin FC in the Western Conference, they find themselves. I shouldn't. I know that we're third or fourth, but I don't want to lie to y'all. Conference standings. We have the East, the West. Well, that was last year's, mate. I know that we're third or fourth. I'm sorry. I should know this right off the bat. All right, here we got it. We're in fourth right now. St. Louis is in first. St. Louis, LAFC, Seattle, and Austin. We're in fourth place. But Eric, I want to bring you in on this, mate. One of the last takes that we'll have on the Austin FC segment is you have heard us go from like this on top to now saying that we'll take a point on the road against Houston. I mean, what are your thoughts on the development of an Austin FC's emotional roller coaster, I guess you can say, mate. Because we were sky high a couple days ago, bro. Now, I mean, I feel like I'm Man United right after Sir Alex Ferguson left, mate. Go ahead.
I'm seeing this like how shout out Primo did it. He's just happy that they didn't lose.
Yeah, get Madrid right. Yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah,
Damn.
bro, you're right.
Full circle, full circle.
Full circle, mate.
Yeah, it's to me it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny seeing how it's up and down, but Austin FC the fans have to understand that that's how football is. That's how football works. Madrid last year super duper high. Now really really low, and then we can come back up. It just has to be time. Like one thing that I love about B is that yeah, Chelsea wasn't winning, and he was supporting it and giving it time and giving it time. Now look at them.
Potter in, Potter in, Wolf in, Potter in, Wolf in.
Yes, sir.
Well, yes. So it's just time. It's just these roller coasters happen. So we just gotta go through and let time tell.
Facts, Eric. Facts, bro. Facts.
Definitely, mate. Definitely, bro. I mean, we can't get over the fact that it is a historical
It is.
embarrassment, a historical blunder. You know what I mean? But yeah, spot on that. I mean, this loss versus Violet will be in the minds of Austin FC fans. Will be in our record forever, bro.
Forever, wait.
Forever.
Forever. Damn, I'm getting goosebumps.
Forever,
man.
mate,
I'm fucking sad,
forever.
bro. Fuck, bro. Fuck.
I
bro.
mean, just like how Barcelona will always have that Liverpool
Yeah,
comeback.
that Bayern.
You know what I mean?
That Bayern
And just
dismantle.
and also just how PSG will always have that Barca stain whenever they came back 6-1 or 6-0. I mean, this is one of
Yeah.
those for us, mate.
Yes, it is. It is.
Historical embarrassment, and hopefully, man, we can move on from this. The spaces, the fan reactions, they gave some players and also Josh Wolf a lot of criticism, but hopefully as a fan base and as a city, as a club, as a team, as the coaching staff, just like Josh Wolf said, he got a lot of a lot of slack for this quote, but we got to regroup and we got to move on. Some fans didn't like that quote, but right there at the end, I mean, he's spot on. We got to regroup and we got to move on. In this league, you don't really have that turnover rate with coaches that you see in Europe or in Mexico. So we gotta stick with this guy Wolf at least to the end of the season. And I like what Bali said. I will give him this. He has to make playoffs. Wolf has to make playoffs. Silverware would save this season, right? But Bali also says strike one. Strike one for Wolf. I like that. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
I like
okay.
That. Anything else you want to add on the Austin points?
No, man. The only thing that could probably wash away this is maybe to one day, be competing it once we get enough depth. The higher the scar, the best cure for a really big scar is a really big dub. So, I couldn't tell you that, like, if we were to one day, I'm talking, dreamland here, to win this competition, I don't think people will be talking about this defeat as much. So we'll see.
Oh, definitely. The best for a soccer team, if you want your fans to forget about something, the best thing to do is to win a game or to win a trophy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So if fans are unhappy, win a game, and you'd be surprised at how many happy faces you'll see walking outside of Kitsu Stadium or X Stadium, wherever you're at. But boys, let's get into the European segment. We spent 50 minutes on Austin. I think we went over just maybe 10 minutes, but it was a historical blunder. We had to talk about it just a bit. I wish Bali was here, mate, but I think he had to go do some stuff with his church or with his car. I don't know, something like that.
He's getting the Wolf banners out.
He's getting the Wolf T-shirts ready.
Yeah.
But let's get into the European segment real quick. We're gonna talk first Austin FC. We're gonna talk Real Madrid versus Liverpool.
Yeah.
And another comeback that needed to happen, almost of the same margin but different scoreline. Madrid went up in Anfield 5-2. Liverpool had to make the comeback at the Bernabeu 3-0. They don't get it done. Madrid even score on them, and they had chances. Camavinga hit the bar off of a deflection, and Alisson kind of saves it onto the bar. There was chances by Toni Kroos with a laser of a shot. Alisson did fantastic. Modric also had like a little cheeky volley. I mean, chances were raining for Real Madrid, but they also came for Liverpool. Darwin Nunez had some chances. Mo Salah was trying to feed him, didn't really get it done. But credit to both keepers. But in the end, Real Madrid is just too much for Liverpool. And it's just been a real crazy ring around the rosy in Europe, bro, because you had Liverpool absolutely stomp United. But then you had United stomp Barcelona, and Barcelona stomped Madrid, and Madrid stomped Liverpool. So it's like it's a whole like I beat you, but you beat them, and they beat the, and it never ends. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so, um, just Eric, your thoughts on the Real Madrid Liverpool match? I'm happy to see my boys in Spain and Madrid move on. At least one of my teams in the Champions League moved on. So, what are your thoughts on that, mate?
Así, así,
Así gana el Madrid. I love that.
beautiful. I wanted more goals, but like I said last week, I wanted them that 7-0 hurt. And seeing them get beat by Madrid again, and Salah not getting his redemption, and seeing the meme of Klopp saying, "Oh, book the hotel for Istanbul, mate, book the hotel back to Liverpool, go back to Liverpool where you belong." I'm just happy. I'm so happy right now that Madrid is gonna win the Champions League, and I said it right now, Chelsea Madrid final.
You did say that before. You did
Yeah,
say that. I
but
remember that. And you know what? That smells like another Champions League for us, mate.
oh my God, look, I mean, I'm gonna say this, to be fair, to be honest, I guess what I'm saying is like, Liverpool's kryptonite is Madrid. Ever since that final that Ramos, purposely injured Salah to win that Champions League, there's been some bitter feelings between these two clubs, and Liverpool just can't do it, bro. They can't do it, just like Madrid can't do it against Barcelona. They win and win, but against Barca they can't do it. So, yeah, I mean, we finally we'll get to that, but we finally starting to see who's going through. But hey, props to Madrid. This is their competition. I've doubted them before. I've doubted them here on the podcast. I've doubted them. This is their competition to win. So I'm not counting them out at all.
Definitely, mate. Well, real quick, some match stats, just real quick, because I'd love to look at this on SofaScore. On the Real Madrid side, we had a bit of an average performance. I'm not gonna lie. 7.5 Nacho, 7.5 Tony Rudiger, 6.6 Eder Militao, Dani Carvajal with a 7.0, Thibaut Courtois with the highest match rating for Real Madrid with an 8.4. I said credit to the keepers, and honestly, credit to them. Tony Cruz with the 7.5, Camavinga with the 7.1, Luka Modric, the legend, with the 7.0, bit of an average 9, Vinicius with the 7.1, Karim Benzema, who the one that got the goal, 7.8, and Federico Valverde with a 6.4 stinker performance. Probably just wasn't his night. He's a fantastic player, one of my favorite players. I actually got to see him whenever he was super young. They had a friendly in DC, and I went to go catch it. It was Real Madrid against Juventus right after Ronaldo left, and that was when Vini was coming up. Lopetegui was the coach, and it was awesome to see a young Fede, a young Vini. I'll never forget that, bro. I was front row behind the bench, and it was so cool to be there. We later on went to have one of the worst seasons in history, but but other than that, it was awesome.
Yeah.
On the Liverpool side, their back four was, I guess, kind of below average. 6.1 for Trent, 6.9 for Konate, 6.9 for Virgil van Disney, and a 6.8 for Mr. Andrew Roberts. B, anything you want to add on Liverpool?
Yeah, I mean, look, after that 7-0 dismantling of United, people were like, are they back? Could this be the spark? Could this be the turning point? Could they kick on their season? Top four is not so crazy now for them, and they go and lose against Bournemouth. I mean, and now they're out of the Champions League. So I guess to them, they could kind of focus now on one competition, which is in the Premier League clubs. That is a big boost. Let's be real. Being knocked out of competition hurts, and it does hurt the club and the fan base, and I get it. But being knocked out of competition always comes with a plus with English clubs, and that plus is having to solely focus on the league, and they're going to be chasing top four heavy now.
Eric, any thoughts on Liverpool, mate? I know that they're your second team in England.
Oh, God damn.
Just kidding, mate. Just kidding. Go ahead, Eric.
I'm happy. I'm living life right now. I am a little bit worried because Karim did come off injured. He came off limping, and it's scary. El Clásico. But
Benzema is like Druissi for Austin, bro. Without Benz, Real Madrid, that clock doesn't tick, bro. Go ahead.
yeah, and another thing with Liverpool, they're chasing top four, and if they don't get top four, hey, dude, Al Madrid. No
I
Champions
like
League for
that. I
Liverpool,
like that
Madrid.
point. I mean,
Facts.
but is there even any real competition between Liverpool and Madrid? How has that developed? I haven't really kept up with that whole saga, so maybe you can enlighten us. Is he closer to Madrid? Is he closer to Anfield? What's the deal there?
I mean, Madrid's talking to him personally now. I saw that they were talking personally to him and say they're going to drop a whole 100 mil for him and then 40 mil add-ons. That's 140. And I think
In this economy, they're crazy.
what Liverpool is doing is 120. So if I'm Jude, I'm taking that 140 and I'm going to a team like how B said that Madrid is going to have Champions League secured. I go to a team that has Champions League secured
Must be nice.
instead.
Must be nice, bro.
Oh, chill.
Must be nice, bro. I mean, that's wild,
Chill.
bro. Must be
Nothing
nice
is
to not have to
secured.
worry about that, mate.
Nothing
No, it
is
is security.
secured.
No, it is security. It's secured
Yeah.
for years to come. It's been secured
Alright.
for decades in the past. It will always be secured. Spanish clubs will always have the big clubs, Barcelona, the Atleticos, and the Madrids will always have the secured. So to Jude Bellingham, playing Champions League is important to any player. So if Liverpool can't get top four, mate, I mean, how are you gonna get better if no one wants to come play to your club? At least the top players.
I get it, bro, but why you gotta say it so loud? You don't gotta say it so loud, bro.
You
You're
know,
good.
we've been fighting over this for a minute, mate.
It's been like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. And I think it's all because of Eric. I think you started it, mate. I
Yes,
think you did.
it started. He got us going. The group chat is wild.
We should make a Discord of the group chat maybe in the future.
We got to work on the Discord for
We'll
sure.
see. We'll see.
If
Top flight
anybody
Discord.
is familiar with any of that stuff, shoot us a DM or something, man.
We'll
Comment
see,
or something.
we'll see what we can do. See what we can do. We'll move on from the Real Madrid and Liverpool match. Obviously, Real Madrid moves on. The other match that we wanted to talk about was the City, Manchester City. I mean, these guys. I mean, what the heck, bro?
This guy,
What the heck? I mean, 7-0.
bro, Haaland getting 5, bro. I mean, they finally let him loose. He's finally popping off. He's doing what we all thought that he would do, is score this amount of goals per game. I mean, there's a lot of bit talk about him not performing because the style the Pep wants to play, he's hindering him. He just lets him loose. It's almost like he has him kind of restricted, and it seemed like he let him loose for this game. And you see what happens when you let Haaland loose. He scores 5 in you, mate.
Mate, he got a 10 out of 10 match rating. He scores 5 goals, 63 minutes played, 5 goals, no assists. He had a 2.3 xG rating, 8 shots on target, no off target. I mean, come on, bro. 2 out of 2 dribble attempts, 2 big chances. So he could have had more. 2 big chances missed. 30 touches with the 69% pass accuracy. He could do better there, 100%. Dani Pereira could show him a thing or two. Aerial duels won, 3 out of 3. And how many times was he fouled? He was not fouled any times, and he was dribbled past only once. Shout out to Mr. Erling Haaland. Some other things that I do want to note. He got his 5, but Gundogan got one in minute 49, and KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, got one in minute 90 plus 2. Eric, what's your take on this match, bro? I mean, City running riot. I mean, there's still maybe hope that they could win the league. I don't know if Arsenal's going to flop it, or what are your thoughts on Man City and their Champions League hopes, bro? I mean, because when is it finally going to happen for them, bro?
Oh, like you said, yeah, Arsenal's going to flop it. But I think these guys,
Okay.
I think that, I mean, they're scary, but like I'm going to say City is City. I don't think they're going to get there just yet because of competition. Yeah, Inter, Bayern, Madrid. Yeah, he did great. I don't know if you guys saw that. Apparently, like Pep took him out, so he didn't take Messi's record for 5 goals in the game. But oh man,
That's mad weird. I'm pretty sure troll. I mean, come on, it can't be real. Wait,
mate, he only played 63 minutes. Why not let him play 80? Okay. Dude, these freaking Barca people, bro.
I refuse to believe that is real, bro.
These Barca people, bro.
I just can't
investigate Barca.
Pep got asked, and he was like, "Oh, I took him off because I want him to, he's 22. I want him to be hungry to break the record later on. I don't want him to just break these records and have a boring rest of his career. Whatever."
He said that, bro. No, I mean, yeah, that's sketchy. That's sketchy. He could easily broke that record easily. One more goal. That's it.
Oh, mate. B, anything you want to add on this Man City absolutely thump?
I mean, Erling Haaland is the best number 9 in the world. City are fighting for this competition. They always fight for this competition. They've been winning the Premier League. So can they do it this year? They're through to the next round. We'll see what their opposition is. And, if somehow Arsenal slip up and City can take control of the Premier League and then maybe they go all the way and maybe this could be the year. I mean, City would be, especially Erling Haaland, the face of that. You're looking at the Ballon d'Or winner. I mean, you're looking at one of the greatest to come up at his age, Erling Haaland. I mean, we've already known this before. He's the best number 9 in the world, potentially the best player in the world as far as youngsters, up there with Mbappe. So, yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit with this guy. I mean, if not with Haaland, then when? If they can't do it with Haaland, bro, then they can never do it, bro. You know what I mean? So.
And Haaland is also rumored to be flirting with Madrid. I saw something about like
todos con Madrid. Siempre todos con Madrid. Siempre el Jude. Siempre.
Is it our fault, mate? Is it our fault, mate? I mean,
siempre todos, bro.
Do you have room to even speak whenever Chelsea dropped almost half a bill? I mean, come on, mate. Boys, let's talk about the draw that's coming up. That's one of the last things that we're gonna touch up on for the UCL segment. We're right on time, actually, in this segment, not like the Austin one. But we got to talk about the draw coming up, boys. The quarterfinals, right? Not mistaken. We got Madrid, Inter, Chelsea, Napoli, AC Milan, Benfica, Bayern, and Man City. B, from a Chelsea point of view, from a Chelsea fan, from a true blue, who do you want in the next round, and who do you not want in the next round?
I would love to play against AC Milan. Both games against Tottenham were dreadful. They had one goal to put them through the tie, one goal on aggregate. The second goal was, I think if we can get AC Milan, I think that would be the best pick for me for Chelsea, 100%. And
Giroud.
I love Giroud. But he's not in blue anymore. So. Who I don't want,
harsh.
Who I don't want, definitely would. I mean, we could go Bayern for sure. City, I wouldn't want those two, bro. I mean, I wouldn't want City or Bayern. But if I had to pick one, I would say Bayern, bro. I'm trying to avoid Bayern and hopefully get AC Milan.
Okay, Eric. Same question goes to you, mate. But obviously, your Reds, Man United, they're not in there. But you support Real Madrid. So, as a Madridista also, as your team in La Liga, same question. Who do you want to face and who do you want to avoid in this next stage of the Champions League?
Gonna say Benfica. I want Benfica. Easy pass.
I don't know if that's too easy, mate.
Killing it.
I don't know. What I don't want, it's most likely going to be Napoli because Napoli and Osimhen are just.
Oh my god, Napoli right now, bro.
I think y'all are definitely seeing it wrong. Go ahead, Eric. Before I go.
And Bayern and Napoli are. Bring us Benfica. Bring us Chelsea. Easy money, but Chelsea in la final. Chelsea in la final.
Okay. All right. My turn. All right. I don't know where this fear of Bayern comes from. I mean, we've slapped up Bayern left and right in years, decades of the Champions League. They're Real Madrid's really biggest rival in Europe. There's always ties between those two teams. I mean, there was some famous games recently when, Chris was there, Sergio Ramos in the 2016-2017 season. I mean, what a campaign that was. What a matchup that was between Real Madrid and Bayern. So this fear of Bayern, I don't experience. I don't feel it, mate. I do respect them. I know that they're a great side. They have a great coach. They have great players. Sadio Mane, great player. But I'm not afraid of this Bayern. I will tell you who I don't want to face, and that's Man City. I don't want to face Man City at all, mate. We already played them in the Champions League recently during the COVID times. Varane had a blunder. Um, City is a team that can make us pay. They have the quality to make our defense struggle and probably hope for a clean sheet and just fight for their lives. I mean, we just saw Haaland score 5. He could have had more. I don't think that the back line can handle Man City. I think we can handle the likes of Bayern Munich though. But City is just a strong, strong team right now, bro. I don't want to face City at all. And they want the Champions League so bad. So
They always do.
they might even say, you know what, I'm going to take a pause on EPL or maybe give uh, priority to the UCL because we've never had this cup. And just like you boys said, if it's not now for City, then when is it ever going to happen? So I think I'm going to put in that factor into the equation of teams that I don't want to face. And City is a team I want to steer clear from. Now, who do I want? I think you guys have it wrong. I want Inter. Inter Milan, come here. Inter Milan, come here, mate. AC Milan is a historic team, and in the Champions League, there's that bit of DNA, that bit
Yeah.
of atmosphere. You know, whenever you have teams like Bayern, AC Milan, and Real Madrid, you get that history factor, and I think that sometimes that can come into play. So Inter is also a historic side, but no, I would love to face Inter in the next round. Hopefully, this prediction doesn't come back to bite me like a lot of others have.
Sure.
Yep.
All right, boys. Anything else we can add on the European segment or the Austin segment?
I'm excited for the draw on Friday to see who we play. And yeah.
So
We're
the
traveling
draw
to
is
Houston.
Friday, right?
The draw's Friday. Yeah.
Draw is Friday, probably like 6 in the morning. Right.
I'm not sure. They used to be in the mornings, but I think they moved them up to like 10, 11 for us over here. Not
Mm.
100%, but definitely Friday.
Yeah, because usually we would wake up for work
And
and
they
we
would
would
be
have
ready.
the list
Yeah.
and we'd be
But
like,
now we
oh
gotta
shoot.
wait.
Yeah, usually it'd be like the first one of us to
The
wake up.
first
They'd
one
be the
to wake
first one
up
to send
sends
to
it
the
to the
group
group
chat.
chat, and then yeah, everybody's texting on the way to work.
Remember recently though when they had to redo it? So like it was like a
Yeah,
remember
yes,
that? You remember that?
yes,
So it was like
bro.
list
That's
but
it. Yeah.
voided. That was
Who,
crazy.
I forgot who got drawn together and then they got separated. But yeah,
It was the redraw. It was Madrid and PSG. So everybody was like, nah,
yeah,
hell no. But the draw before that, Madrid got somebody super easy. I think they had drawn like Benfica
I
or
forgot.
Porto or
I
something.
forgot
And
to
then
be
they did the
honest.
redraw and Madrid got PSG and the rest is history. The rest is history after that, man. All right, y'all. Just like B mentioned, we are traveling to Houston this Saturday. We're gonna be there at Shell Stadium, PNC Stadium. It's gonna be a late game, so don't expect fan reactions. Anything can happen though. But we're really not shooting for fan reactions because it's gonna be late. We're gonna try to get out of the stadium as soon as possible. You know, Houston, right? We also got a Twitter space coming up tomorrow night around 8 p.m. with some folks at 713 from the Houston community. We're going to keep it healthy. We're going to keep it football related. A derby is coming up, so we're going to go bantering back and forth with the guys from Houston. Old Soccer Guy will be there. Pupas will be there as well. Some really cool peeps from the Houston community. So hopefully we can keep it good, keep it 100% because
Yeah.
you never know what will happen. B,
Yeah.
anything you want to add, mate?
Yeah, and we're also going to be vlogging our trip to Houston. So just us, me, the top flight guys, the We're Awesome TV guys, just a little bit vlogging our trip to Houston, the game, and then our trip back. So stay tuned for that as well.
Yeah, mate. Shout out to B. Shout out to Eric for also being here. Shout out to all the subscribers and the listeners that tune into Top Flight week in and week out. Little midweek episode, and hopefully we can keep bringing y'all some of the best content that we can put out. Y'all article coming up. Shout out to everybody working with Austin TV, and we'll be back soon with more coverage of Austin FC and the best of European football. Have a good night, everybody.